Hey, what's up, everybody? Brotrio here, and we are particularly excited today because we were blessed with the announcement that there will be a Pokemon Direct tomorrow.
Helix be praised!
I am very excited about this because I kind of called this. I had my crackpot theory about it. I talked about it on Nerds at Large. Yeah, I actually kind of have if you'll put on your tinfoil hats for me real quick for my...
We will absolutely put on our tinfoil hats. We are always welcome.
If you follow the official Pokemon channel on YouTube, they have been putting out these videos every day for the past, couple days, and it started, and they're advertising the Pokemon TV app somewhat.
Yeah.
But if you recall, Pokemon Let's Go was kind of announced in secret because the Pokemon company just had a meeting and they were just like, hey, they're coming out. So I'm guessing Pokemon Day they're going to do the same thing for Generation 8. And I think these are leading up to it because it's like, visit Kanto, visit Johto, visit Hoenn, and visit Sinnoh. And I think they're going to keep doing that through the every other generation, and then they're going to have one to advertise the game and the anime launching the same day or whatever. That's visit this new continent. And see, that was a pretty solid theory then, and then earlier today they showed the Alola visitation video, so I'm pretty sure I'm right. I mean, it could also not be Generation 8, but they're calling a direct for it, and it'd kind of be a lot of backlash if it wasn't.
If they just pop up and they're just like, hey, let's go to Johto, guys!
Yeah, let's go Togepi.
Everybody would be upset.
Yeah. But, it could be a mystery dungeon thing. Could be Detective Pikachu Switch port, because the movie's coming out. Could be anything.
That trailer was awesome.
Still,
yeah, it was.
Might happen in this. Granted, I think it's maybe 10 minutes or less, I think is what they said. But they could happen, might. We don't know. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Generation 8 and pretty much what we expect to see in this. We know it's the first announcement ever other than that guy writing on a piece of paper about it. So we're going to keep it semi-realistic. We're not going to, want to see the world. Well, we want to see the location, but you know what I meant. We don't want to see everything in the game. We just want to see a few things, and we're going to start with the starters. First evolutions only, obviously, but
yeah, that's all they would tell us anyway.
And we know we're gonna get a grass, water, and fire type. And honestly, I just want them to look good. That's my main thing. Is I want it to be a hard choice. I know I'm gonna pick grass, but I want it to be kind of I can trick myself into thinking I won't.
Seems like it's been a while since everyone almost universally liked all three.
Yeah.
Because, Bulbasaur has his unjustified haters. The Piplup, a lot of people didn't like Piplup. A lot of people didn't like Chespin. Every starter trio has its fair share of haters. I want one that's almost universally praised.
Right. And I want it like that from the beginning. Because I hated Poplio at first. I did not like him one bit. I thought he looked dumb.
I still don't.
And he ended up growing on me. I really like his... that design, the first evolution design. Yeah, I don't like any of the other ones. But
that's what I was about to say. Was the first evolution grew on me, and then he evolved, and I hated it.
And I didn't like Fennekin. I liked Fennekin, but the rest of that line I did not like.
Yeah.
But I'm the fire guy every time, so I had to do it.
And one thing I also want to happen, which we should hear about it. They typically tell us all the types, which is normally one singular type only. There have been 2 starters that have had dual types right from the get-go first evolution, and that is Bulbasaur, Grass Poison, and Rowlet, Grass Flying. So I'm kind of hoping we see some better dual types, right from the get-go. Yeah. That would be really cool and add a lot more strategy to the game in the beginning. So the seasoned players, they'll have something extra to think about other than just okay, I'm fire, I gotta avoid water and ground.
Ideally, I'd like to see all of the types counter their weakness. If it's a fire fairy, the water one is dark, so you can still be super effective against the water one in some way for when you're fighting your rival and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, we're staying pretty safe with these, so let's get into some rocky speculations of what we want to see the starters with, because that's always fun to do. And I'm going to go out with a big one that definitely won't happen, but I really want it to happen, is unpaired typings I want to see in the starters. And Grass has had really only one typing it hasn't been paired with. The other two it has been paired with, but they've been temporary or a different form, like Grass Dragon, Alolan Executor, Mega Sceptile. Haven't seen it in anything that isn't like an exception to the rule like that. And Grass Electric I've only seen in Mo Rotom. So those two would be good, but one thing I really want is Grass Fire, because it is completely opposite. Like, it's not a typing you would think would go well together at all. Like, Water Fire has been there with that Steam Pokemon, but Grass Fire, I mean, there's a bunch of options it could be. And one thing we looked up, because, you know, we're nerds and we look up grass, like actual grass, not Pokemon grass, is Bear Grass is this weird, unique looking grass that is fire resistant, and it's called Bear Grass. So obviously, it would be a grass bear Pokemon that evolves into just this big grass bear that's fire filled. Like, that would be insane and a really cool typing. Pretty good design. There's a good bit of bear Pokemon, but not as many as you would think. And I mean, we need it. Like, give us something adorable, because a little grass bear, it would just be great.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Now, an animal we've never seen before is a flamingo. I want the starter to be a flamingo. Fire, fairy, flamingo. That's a type combo we've never seen before, an animal we've never seen before, and it's triple F. It's awesome. And flamingos are cool, and they're pink and they eat shrimp, and fire and fairy would be an amazing type combination. It would be so powerful. And it would start a little white flamingo like the chicks are, and then of course it would stand on one leg and be pink, and yeah, it would be cool. I like flamingos, everyone likes flamingos. Let's get a fire fairy flamingo going.
Now, unfortunately, water's already been paired with everything.
Literally everything.
So, I'm thinking it would be really cool, because this looks like a Pokemon anyway, if we got a platypus type Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
Because there's not one somehow. Everybody loves it, and it could be water poison.
That is not good for my fire fairy.
No. But because they have those poison barbs that some people don't know that platypi have. Anyway.
Plural platypus.
And, I mean, they're adorable and potentially badass when they get bigger. I don't know.
Real hilarious looking.
Yeah,
regardless.
The third evolution would probably be a nightmare mess of, like, animal parts, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, Pokemon's the place to do it.
Yeah.
Moving on to locations. We each of us picked one. Two of these we talked about briefly on the Nerds at Large podcast mentioned earlier. I would like to see the United Kingdom. There's a lot of interesting history and lore that they could play with in the United Kingdom. I'd like to see like a queen and like you explore this castle and a lot of knightly looking Pokemon, and there's one Pokemon that has like a blade for a hand and he's like a fencer. You know, it's just like kind of like think Aegislash, just like, but they're not just a sword, they have swords. That's what I was thinking.
Plus, we could see some corgi Pokemon.
Oh my god! Yes, so many cute dog opportunities that were bred in England, and exploring a virtual exploring a virtual London and like climbing to the top of Big Ben and finding like a Ultra Ball or whatever would be real fun. And maybe that's where the legendary battle would take place, is on top of Big Ben. That'd be pretty sweet.
Or Stonehenge.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's how you call down Deoxys. Oh man. United Kingdom would be real fun. It can't just be the cities. You gotta go to like the big green countryside where it rains every 10 minutes, and it'd just be a blast.
The location I really want to happen, and we're picking these pretty big locations in the real world that we want to see in Pokemon because it's the first one on a home console. It's more powerful, and we're guessing it's going to be just freaking massive. So we're picking these big
Fingers crossed.
places so that it can happen and be like a huge adventure in these places. That being said, I kind of want it to be based off of Greece.
Yes.
Because Greek mythology is one of the most popular mythos that has ever happened. And it just has... I mean, honestly, Greek mythology, most of the creatures are basically Pokemon anyways.
Yeah.
So, why not just, take out the middle, man, make them actual Pokemon.
I mean, come on. Greece is beautiful.
Yeah.
Just imagine exploring that in your HD Pokemon Switch game. Yes. Hell yes.
Plus, we can see some awesome, Pokemon forms we've never seen, like a Centaur. We've never seen anything like that.
How have we not had a Centaur before?
I mean,
Minotaur?
Yeah.
Imagine the baby forms. They'd be so cute.
A Gorgon. There's endless opportunities in Greece. And that's why I want it.
One of the most diverse and beautiful countries in this world is India. You have such a great landscape. You have really, really super tall mountains and just...
really great culture, too.
Yeah, an interesting culture to base your Pokemon place on.
And a lot of very good architecture.
Yeah, that too. And there's just so much that we could learn and explore from going into that kind of a culture. They've got a very extensive mythology to base things off of. And it would just be really interesting to see just a huge place to go explore and climb up mountains and go into caverns, and there's all kinds of stuff that we could do. And of course, no location will be complete without the legendaries, and we have a couple of examples. I think Shiva, the Destroyer God, would be very cool, basically Giratina, I guess, but...
Yeah. It'd be very cool to base a legendary on that.
Yeah, it's just a really interesting concept, and it's frequently shown as a tiger with snake something going on, so that would be a really scary combo. And it just sounds like a very threatening Pokemon to me. And then there's Vishnu, the Preserver of Life, who is often depicted as a tangled mess of cobras. And that just sounds awesome, because it would be a scary one, but then that's actually the Preserver of Life, so you might have a little bit of a mistake thing happening where you think that's the bad one first. I don't know. It could be interesting.
Yeah. And the legendaries I would want to see in my imaginary Greece Pokemon world would be based on, you can probably assume, Greek gods are pretty popular, and there's, the two biggest ones, seemingly, are Zeus and Hades. And, they have been loving the duality legendaries in, the later years with, Solgaleo and Lunala. And Hades and Zeus kinda are, drawing that line of black and white, basically. And, Zeus would be, electric fighting type Pokemon. Hades could be, dark poison, something sinister. And, make their designs what have you, but have them based on that. It'd just be really cool, I think.
I had to dig a little deeper for mine, because Christianity took over the United Kingdom, pretty early in recorded history. So, in Celtic folklore, there is Titania, the Queen of the Fairies. I was imagining her as a grass and fairy type because of, she's a fairy and because of nature powers. I think she would be very cool to base one on, have a big, threatening, legendary fairy type for once, because most of the fairies look, pretty dainty. So
yeah.
I think it would be pretty cool to have an imposing fairy queen, they could make her dainty as well and it would fit, but I was imagining her more with, plate armor. and she's just like, you mess with the trees, you mess with her, kind of legendary we've got going. You know, really big wings in the back and everything. It'd be awesome. And then this one had multiple names. He's known as Black Dog, but the name that is, from what I can gather, most commonly associated with Black Dog would be Barghest. And he would be like Dark and Poison or something like that. Just something super sinister. And like Daniel said earlier, the duality thing would come into play because you've got a dog that can essentially represent the devil, and has been and used in folklore as the devil, and you've got the Queen of the Fairies who wants to do nothing but protect nature, and Barghest would presumably want to destroy it. And I just think that would be insanely cool to see, is Queen of the Fairies versus a devil dog.
Yep. Okay, we're pretty much done speculating for now. So let's move on to the other stuff we think will be in the Direct. And obviously, this is almost given to be there, is gameplay. Mm-hmm. And we want to see how it works. We want to see how much they're taking from Let's Go and what they're leaving behind. Like, ideally, it's a great hybrid of classic Pokemon and Let's Go takes what works in one and what works in the other, leaves what didn't. But, you know, we'll see what it is. I'm hoping it's more classic than Let's Go.
Yeah, I want battles.
Yeah.
I want wild battles again.
Yeah, that took me out of the game like every time, just about not having encounters that I could fight through.
I really enjoyed
weird.
Let's Go, but I don't want the motion control throwing again. Maybe as an option, but I don't want it. At least don't make it mandatory again.
Let me use my damn Pro Controller. That's what I want.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee we're going to be able to use the Pro Controller. But maybe I'm going to keep functionality with the Pokeball Plus.
Oh, yeah.
But, that would be awesome.
Yeah, you can still
justify that purchase more.
Yeah, Nintendo, use a peripheral twice.
Yes.
We need it.
But, I mean, other than that, there's not too much more. We think there might be, like, a new hook for this generation. We say that, like, you know, X and Y's hook was Mega Evolutions. Sun and Moon's was Z moves. What's this one's gonna be? Are they gonna forget about Mega Evolutions and Z moves like they kind of have in the past? Are they gonna keep them? Are they gonna add new ones? What's the deal? And that's pretty much all we can think that would be in this Direct realistically. Now, we are very excited for it. We can't wait for it. And, I mean, you can catch our live reactions once we get it up tomorrow. And we will also be doing a special Hype Train episode after the Direct, telling, like, what we thought of it, what we're hyped for, and what we are imagining will be in the final game. So stay tuned to Brotrio for a lot more Pokemon content coming soon. We'll catch y'all next time.